Today on the channel, we got the man of the hour, too sweet to be sour. It is time for the Kyle Peterson Top 5, and in today's video, we're counting down my top 5 superstar Billy Graham figures of all time.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another edition of the Kyle Peterson Top 5, a Thursday tradition here on this very YouTube channel. As every single Thursday we're counting down my top 5 and occasionally top 10 favorites of something. And today, it's one I've been waiting to do for a while as we're counting down my top 5 superstar Billy Graham figures of all time. And superstar Billy Graham, a guy before my time, even his announcing career at the tail end of his wrestling career, we'll say, was before my time. But man, I learned about him a little bit later on. Of course, there was that WWE produced DVD, there was his autobiography, and then of course the figures, some of those we're going to talk about here today, really made me appreciate superstar Billy Graham, a guy way ahead of his time, really Hulk Hogan before Hulk Hogan, running around the territories, of course a WWF champion and a ninja. Yes, a ninja as well. But the superstar, talk about a physique ahead of his time, talk about a personality ahead of his time, just one of the all-time great superstars, and sadly a little bit forgotten as we go on for years. It's kind of what happens with baseball players, football players. Obviously there's some of the old-timers who remembered, Babe Ruths of the world, but a lot of them kind of get lost to history out there, and that's one of the things about Billy Graham is everybody should respect the Billy Graham for what he brought to wrestling, and maybe some of the things he did bring to the wrestling weren't so good, but to each their own, as we do know. But of course, we're going to count this countdown down, starting at number 5, work our way to number 1. Number 1 being my favorite superstar Billy Graham figure of all time. Of course, this is my list. Going to ask you to put your list in the comments down below. Make sure you put them in order. That's the hard part. That is the fun part. But without further ado, let's get down to it. Let's hit up number 5. We begin the superstar Billy Graham countdown, of course, at number 5. And number 5 comes to us from our friends at Jakks. Of course, the Jakks Classic Superstars series, a line near and dear to my heart, with something a little bit different that was only done one other time, of course, in the Jakks years. It is a black and white figure. It is a Canadian Toys R Us exclusive, 1 of 3,000 superstar Billy Graham. And this is just really cool for what it is and what it represents. Is because black and white figures, outside of that one Undertaker figure as part of that box set, this was the only time we got a black and white figure. So it makes it feel a little extra special. And that's what happened with Jakks back in the day. You would have all kinds of different exclusives. And this being a Canadian-only exclusive really did make you pull your hair out a little bit. Had to wait a little bit of time. Eventually got them off eBay. The rest is history right here. But 1 of 3,000 on this one. Not for everybody, that's for sure. Not everybody wants a black and white figure, but I think it does look really cool. It's a very easy way to do a repaint, and I'm honestly shocked Mattel in this day and age hasn't done a wave of like classic wrestlers in a black and white repaint. I think people might pick that up, maybe a box set, something like that. Maybe not for everybody. Maybe a Mattel Creations exclusive is the way to go with that one. But who knows? Maybe one of these days here. But a fabulous, fabulous superstar. 1 of 3,000 Jakks Class Superstar coming in at number 5. We're at the number 4 spot. Number 4, once again, we go to Jakks Classic Superstars series. This time, we go to one of the figures that had so many questions for so many years. However, thankfully, the questions finally answered in this very book, The Complete Guide to the Jakks Classic Superstars series. Of course, by yours truly, available on Barnes & Noble and Amazon. I did have an interview with Jeremy Padower, and this was one of the discussion topics I wanted to talk about, as this figure has always kind of flown under the radar, and the real instance of what was going on was never out there. Well, it is out there now. It is the 1 of 500 exclusive superstar Billy Graham figures, Toys R Us exclusive for only the Orland Park, Illinois Toys R Us store. That was the only place you could buy this figure. It was the only one. They had a superstar in for an autograph signing that weekend around the WrestleMania festivities. and they had this. So if you purchase something, you got this, you got Billy Graham's autograph, all that kind of stuff. So very, very rare, and it never said 1 of 5,000, 1 of 3,000, anything on there. And talking to Jeremy about this one is they had a last-second request for this. So they had to hurry this to production. They said, okay, how can we do this as cheap and fast as possible? Well, they took the green tights, turned them red, no extra special packaging, anything like that. They just threw it in the traditional Superstar Billy Graham packaging, and you were off to the races here. And a lot of people said it's 1 of 3,000, 1 of 5,000. I've always thought in my brain there's no possible way it could be that because it was only available at one store. They wouldn't bring 3,000 to a store. And Jeremy thought it was something like 466 or something like that as far as production numbers. So basically rounding up to 500 at this point. But it's one of those ones not a lot of people know about. And it is super rare, 1 of 500. But rarity doesn't always mean value. But you do see these come up once in a blue moon. When I was originally hunting for this, it took forever. It took me about a year of saved searches to finally come across this one. Every once in a while it'll pop up and people don't know what they have because there's no sticker on it. There's nothing like that. So it is something to be on the lookout for, but it is very, very hard to find, of course. Being only available at one weekend at one Toys R Us store, it is pretty rare. And it is a very, very nice figure, as you can see right here, but it is a repaint of the last one and maybe another one we're going to see in this very countdown. So the Toys R Us Orland Park, Illinois exclusive 1 of 500 Superstar Billy Graham from the Class Superstars line comes in at number 4. We're at the halfway point of the countdown at number 3. Once again, get your list together, put it in the comments down below, and make sure you subscribe to this very YouTube channel. So there you go. Now at the number 3 spot, Superstar Billy Graham. Where are we going? Well, we're seeing a little bit of a theme here. Once again, we're going to the Jakks Classic Superstars line. This time, we're going to Series 7 for the traditional Superstar Billy Graham. Much like Superstar Billy Graham himself, very ahead of its time in the action figure line, as we do know is the Classic Superstars line. But we do get that same Superstar Billy Graham, once again, a broken record here, this time in the more traditional green trunks, red boots, and then, of course, the soft goods feather boa. Man, playing a lot of hits right here with this Superstar. An all-timer from the get-go. One of the ones I was so excited for when this did come out. I just thought it looked cool. I still think it looks cool, hence it being at number 3 right here. But we do know the Class Superstars line had, of course, the black and white variant, the red tights, now the green tights. But we also had blue jeans Superstar Billy Graham. We had this one basically with old man Billy Graham head. And then we had the pink suit Billy Graham as well. So we got a lot of figures over the years from Jakks and the Class Superstars line of Superstar Billy Graham. Superstar Mania running wild back in the day in the Classic Superstars line. But this is the one most people probably had. It's the one that went everywhere. This was the traditional series Superstar. A fabulous figure. No doubt you know who this is if you look at it, if you're familiar with Superstar Billy Graham. Just a really good figure, but really not a lot different than the last two. It is a variant, or those are more like a variant of this one, of course. But this is the one that brought us to the dance. This one coming in at number 3. Finishing up the countdown here, and we're dangerously close between number 2 and number 1. Truly a pick'em is what it is, but we're going to number 2, and for the first time, we're going to the Mattel Elite line. We're going to Elite 78, I believe. Walmart or Target exclusive. Now I can't remember. I think Target exclusive. We're going to call it Target. Could be Walmart, but I believe Target here. It is Superstar Billy Graham. However, this is a 2-in-1 figure, which is genius. I think Mattel, Jazzwares, you name it, should do more 2-in-1 figures. Get people to buy multiples of these. As, of course, this is Superstar Billy Graham with alternate heads. So you can be old man superstar, young man superstar, choose your own superstar adventure, as we do know. But a beautiful, beautiful figure. You do get the boas here, which we saw with Jakks and Soft. This is the hard good boa. I guess a little of this, a little of that, depending what you like and which one you do prefer. But I do like the yin and yang difference. Beautiful sunglasses on here. And then it really comes down to, do you want old man superstar Billy Graham? You want younger man superstar? Or heck, why not both? That's what I say right here. But a fabulous, fabulous figure here in Elite 78. A sleeper then, a sleeper now, if you ask me. And that's why it's coming in at number 2, which means there can only be one left. What could it be? Well, stay tuned. We've arrived at the number 1 spot in our top 5 Superstar Billy Graham countdown. Of course, get your list together, put it in the comments down below, and don't forget to subscribe to this video as we got countdowns every single week, but I think everybody could guess what the number one Superstar Billy Graham figure is for me. Maybe, you guys tell me. Of course, it is the original San Francisco Toy Makers bloody variant. Oh, no, it didn't make the list. Sorry. It is, of course, the Territories 4-pack recent. Maybe some recency bias here. I don't think so, but you could say that maybe, depending. But it is the 4-pack that had Muhammad Ali, Gorilla Monsoon, King Harley Race, or scratch that, NWA Champion Harley Race, and, of course, Superstar Billy Graham here. But this is truly the ultimate Superstar Billy Graham. It's got a lot of what we saw before, especially the head sculpt. We got the tie-dyed tights going on. We got the red boots, but we get a beautiful, beautiful tie-dyed shirt here with Superstar. Definitely known for that back in the day. And then you throw on that WWF first time in the line belt. Playing a lot of hits right from the get-go there. And then I love the addition of the updated arms, of course, with the Scott Steiner Lex Luger Legend arms here. Really fitting Superstar Billy Graham. Just an absolute fabulous, fabulous figure. Absolutely love this one here. A sleeper one for a lot of people, or for me, I would say. It's a sleeper figure. I wish more people appreciated the Superstar Billy Graham in that Territory 4-pack because I get it. It was before your time. I understand all that kind of stuff. But man, there's something about celebrating the past, checking out the stuff and the history of wrestling. That's always been intriguing to me. But you like what you like, you don't what you don't, of course. And I would love to have some more golden era stars, 60s, 70s legends, just to complete out the stuff. It's before my time too, but I love to celebrate the history of all things wrestling. And things like this Superstar really hit me where I want to be hit for sure. Doesn't hurt that Superstar is one of my favorite older wrestlers as well. So a lot of fun in this one here. A fun one just recently. Of course, you can grab this at Mattel Creations still as I am filming this video there. So there it is, though. The top 5 Superstar Billy Graham figures of all time as voted by me. Once again, get your list together in the comments down below. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell. We got videos every single day and then some. We got 2 YouTube channels with videos every single day. Make sure you subscribe to both of those. And check out the Patreon for early access to both channels' videos, glamour shot, pizza reviews, dog stuff, monthly Q&As, you name it, it's all going down on the old Patreon, and it truly is the best way to support this very YouTube channel. You can also support the channel at ProWrestlingTees.com, search Kyle Peterson, and don't forget social media, SirPaul64 on the X, the _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, and on Instagram. So for Superstar Billy Graham, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.